So I just give you the floor.
Okay, that sounds great. Hi, everyone. My name is Sam. I'm an English teacher, and Mohammed has asked me to join you guys today to do a conversational English class. So let me just go ahead and start sharing my screen. Just make sure that everyone can see that. And then we can get started. Okay, let's see. I'll just wait and see if that has worked so that everyone can see it on YouTube. We have a little bit of a delay. Nice to meet you, everyone. Okay. And okay, I think that my screen is up now. I guess I'm just not used to the delay for the live teaching lessons, but today our topic is going to be, what are you good at? So talking about things that you are good at, giving some details for this, and maybe explaining things that you are not very good at as well. So there we go. We have our lesson objectives. So this is going to be to review adjectives that are used to describe people, practice using expressions to describe talents, give details about your skills and the skills of others, and explain why you are or are not good at something. So just to begin, I would like to have a warm-up. So I want you to think, and I will be checking the YouTube comment box. What words can you think of that describe yourself or that describe other people? Think about both personality and talents that you or people you know might have. You see my head turning over this way. That's because I'm looking at the chat on the YouTube channel. Hardworking. That's a very good one. Yeah, so we can say that someone is hardworking. Very good. Well-skilled, curious, generous, creative, determined, easygoing. Very good. Kind, friendly, sociable, wise, good at problem solving. That's a very good one. Reserved but warm. That's good. That's a little bit more detailed, which is nice. Highly motivated, friendly. Yeah, we can also say we're good at certain things. So good at judo or basketball, good at playing tennis. Yeah. Perseverance, humble, fussy. Very good. Independent, aggressive, hopeful, timid, studious. We have someone saying, I'm good at academic writing and I really try hard for my goal. Very good. Easygoing, laid back, diligent, introverted, taciturn. Wow, okay. Good at math. Okay, we have a lot of good details here, so I'm going to move on. So we have these adjectives or details we can use to describe ourselves. And then we can also expand on these things, right? So I might say I'm friendly and good at talking to people. People enjoy being around me and chatting with me. So I'm expanding on that and giving some details or examples. I can also say my sister is really smart. She gets high marks in math classes and wants to become an accountant one day. So again, giving a little more detail and some examples. My friend Allie is creative. She has a workshop where she builds beautiful pieces of furniture and decorations. Okay, I'm getting a notice that my internet connection is unstable, so I'm sorry if there's any lag or delay. Maybe Mohammed, you can let me know if you can't hear me. And then I can pause and get back to it. Okay. So generally when we're speaking in English, if I'm talking to friends about someone that I've met or someone that I would like them to meet or introduce them to, I will not only give an adjective and say, oh, she is smart, he's hardworking. Typically, I will give more details like I have in these example sentences. I can expand on that. So I'd like to see if you could please write some sentences about yourself or about someone you know. So you can tell me an adjective, and you guys have given so many different examples in the chat box already. And then see if you can give some more details or expand on that. Okay. Good at cooking and helping my kids with their homework. Good. I'm good at playing volleyball. Very good. Let's see if we can add some more details here. I'm good at listening and reading, so I'm seeing some more complete sentences, which is great. I do also think that maybe since there's a little bit of a lag between what I'm saying and what you're hearing, I'll wait a minute.
Sam, just to add that they won't see the lag. It's just us because yeah, they won't notice the lag. So you just ignore the lag that you'll see between your two screens. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess now everybody will know if I'm just pausing for a long period of time, that's what's happening. Ooh, okay, we have a good one. I'm easygoing, so I can connect with people easily. That's very good. We have some more details. I'm really good at making new friends. I'm a good tour guide and translator. Let's see. I'm good at scrolling through social media. Very good. Or I'm good at conducting research projects. My friend is an analytic thinker. He usually has an innovative approach towards solving the problems. Very good. So you are introducing some qualities that your friend has and then giving some extra details. Yeah, so I see some people saying, I'm good at cooking, right? So maybe you can give me some more details for that in particular. Like, I'm good at cooking. The pizza I make is the best. Or give me another detail about something that you do really well in regards to cooking, for example. I'm good at problem solving due to the fact that it would help me come up with good solutions when I'm writing code. Yeah, very good. So here you're relating it back to either your job or your hobby in whatever context that you're writing code. That's giving me some more detail about you. So this is really good in conversation so that you can get to know people a little bit better. I'm a civil engineer, so I learned to study hard and be hardworking. About my emotion, chat's going too fast. I think I saw an emotional person. Good, so that's a lot of detail as well. I'm a good listener, so my friends always talk to me about their problems. Very good, so we're getting some cause and effect, lots of details. I'm supportive and good at listening to others so everyone can count on me. Very good. Or my sister is good at cooking around traditional food. Very good. So that's the detail that I was looking for with cooking in particular. Okay. I'm good at cooking and I can make fast food and cakes and everything my children want. Very good. I'll read one more. One of my friends who lives in Pakistan is very friendly and looks gorgeous. He plays cricket and has 3 siblings. He's easygoing. Okay, very good. So, yeah, we have a lot of good sentences there and a lot more detail. So really good job. Thanks, guys. Okay. So now I want us to think about some expressions to describe talents. Here are some expressions that we might use when describing people in English. So we can say someone has a head for figures, has an ear for music, has an eye for detail, has a way with words, has a knack for languages. And we can say someone has a good intuition or a good intuitive sense. Both of those are okay. You can also say someone has a way with people. Someone can be good with their hands or be mechanically inclined. So what I would like to know is, do you think you can guess what these expressions mean? So if I say someone has a head for figures, what kind of qualities do you think I'm telling you about this person? Okay, very good. Yeah, good with numbers, good at math. Yeah, that's exactly what that first one means. So being good at mathematical calculations. How about the next one there, having an ear for music? Saying that they're an analytic person is also good. Very good. Yeah. So they could have some kind of musical talent if they have an ear for music. So in particular, we might say they're good at recognizing, remembering, and imitating musical sound. For example, I had a teacher in high school who, if you played a song for him, even if he had not heard it before, he was able to then imitate the melody very easily and accurately on the piano. So I could say that he has an ear for music. It's something that he is good at. All right. How about an eye for detail? I think we're seeing a pattern here in these phrases. Okay, someone has said having a photographic memory. So, or an observant person. That's better. So maybe not exactly a photographic memory, though that could be it. But we generally say they're observant. They're good at seeing things that other people might not notice. So maybe some small changes or small details. Yeah, they're good at seeing things that other people might not notice. Okay. How about having a way with words, which is kind of similar. The next two are similar, having a way with words, having a knack for languages, but there is a bit of a difference. I wonder if anyone can distinguish what that is. Okay. So I do like that someone said seeing the trees, not the wood, for having an eye for detail. Yeah, that's a good way of putting that. And someone has said being good at learning languages. And then also a person who speaks nicely or is good at public speaking. Yeah, so having a way with words means being able to express your ideas and your opinions well, whether this is in your native language or in any other language that you speak. So it doesn't have to do with language learning, but having a knack for languages means that you have a natural ability to learn and speak foreign languages. All right. So I think many of you have a knack for languages who are writing in the chat box. Okay, how about having a good intuition or having a good intuitive sense? Ooh, someone said eloquent. That's also a very good adjective to use for someone who has a way with words. We can say they're very eloquent. Someone also said glide. That's very good for a way with words. Glide. Okay, so I see in the chat we have being vigilant, good at sensing, almost like having a sixth sense. Yeah, to feel something without actual and tangible facts, having an instinctive ability to learn, being sensible. Yeah, okay, very good. So it does have to do with relying on your feeling rather than on facts. So someone might say, I have a good feeling about this or a bad feeling about this, not based on fact, but just on their feeling, their gut. We might say we have that phrase, going with your gut. So going with what you feel emotionally. Yeah, and that is having a good intuition or a good intuitive sense. Very good. How about having a way with people? I do like all of the comments about having a sixth sense when it comes to an intuitive sense. I think that's very accurate. Okay, we have a social and extroverted person. Friendly and easygoing, good at making friends. Sociable, extroverted, cooperative. Okay, very sociable, getting along with people. Yeah, so having a way with people has to do with being able to attract and influence people. So if you have a way with people, people probably want to be your friend. And if you have a way with people, you might be good at influencing people or convincing them to do things. Maybe you are almost like a ringleader in your friend group, the one who might suggest activities that people agree to do. You understand people, you're good at working with them. Very good. We just have 2 left. So the first one is to be good with one's hands. I am going to apologize. Sometimes I do see comments that say, could you please explain more? And I might not be sure which point exactly, just because there is a bit of a lag between me speaking and you putting your questions into the chat box. So if you need a further explanation, if you can just let me know about which point, then I can definitely expand a little bit more. Okay, I'm seeing the chat box coming up with dexterous, being able to fix things with your hands, a craftsperson, someone who can make a dress, maybe be able to create something. Very good. Yeah. So that's exactly it. So it's being able to use your hands to make or do things. So we might say that a carpenter is good with their hands because they're building furniture. Someone suggested making dresses in the chat box as well. Yeah, exactly. This is something that you can do with your hands. Perfect. And then we just have mechanically inclined as our last expression here. I've seen in the chat box for to be good with one's hands, the word dexterous as well. So that's also a very good adjective. Yeah. Being able to use your hands skillfully. Yeah. And to use one's hands. So this means maybe it's something that you do manually. You literally use your hands to do something. So if I'm sewing, I'll use the needle and thread in my hands to be able to do that. It has to do with not just your hands in particular, but usually doing some kind of manual, physical skill that usually results in creating things or maybe fixing things. Okay, someone has said having a good intuition when it comes to working with machines, an expert at fixing things, knowing how things work, seeing past design and understanding how something functions. Very good. Yeah. So to be mechanically inclined is to be able to understand how machines work, simply put. Yeah. Someone has just put naturally good with machines. Yeah. That sums it up very well. And you might use that to repair. So maybe to, if you are a mechanic, you'll be mechanically inclined if you work with cars, for example. Okay, a handyman. Yeah, that's excellent. If you are a handyman, you're probably mechanically inclined. And you might be good with your hands as well while you're fixing things. Very good. Okay, so I want us to keep these expressions in mind. Because we have different screens, it might be good. I don't know if anybody wants to snap a quick picture of them on your phone or something like this so you can keep these in mind. You can also go back in the video if you need to, and you can then hit the live button again, and that should catch you up. I want us to match these to a list of people that I have on the next slide. So I'll go ahead and move on. So here we have people and we have some descriptions. I want you to tell me what you think each person is good at using one of the expressions from the previous slide. And if you can just put the number to make it quicker, you don't have to write out their name. You can just put the number and then the expression that you think fits them. So for example, 1, Irish writer James Joyce spoke 13 languages. Which of the phrases do we think matches James Joyce, James Joyce the most? You don't have to start with James Joyce. You can point out any of these 7 people. Okay, I can see someone in the chat has put 1, have a knack for languages. Very good. Someone else has said maybe it is not clear. Ooh, someone has put have a flair for languages. That's very good. We can also say someone has a flair for languages instead of has a knack for languages. We can say has a flair for something as well. Maybe someone has said something about number 5. Yeah, he has a knack for languages. Oh, and someone says they know Freud. So Freud is number 5. Do we know what he has? Okay, someone says, can you please zoom in? I'm not sure that I can actually do that while I'm sharing my screen. I'm very sorry. Okay, the images are not clear. Well, you don't need to see their faces. So how about I'll just say number 2, we have someone who conveyed profound feelings about common human experiences. So Chilean poet Gabriela Mistral. And let's see. 4 is mechanically inclined. Yes, that's correct. 5, he's good at psychology. Yeah, Freud was definitely good at psychology. Which of the phrases from the previous page do we think has to do with being good at psychology? So it says he had an immense capacity for understanding human behavior and feelings. Seven has a good intuition. Yes, very good. So he was a magician who pretended to read people's minds. So we can say he had a good intuition, guessing what people were thinking. We can also say that number 2, that Gabriela had a way with words. Yes, because she was communicating feelings that people felt through her poetry. Very good. 3, head for figures. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, someone is saying it could have been good to have them all on the same page, the expressions and the pictures. Yeah, probably should have done that, but I'll know for next time. Okay, I think people are struggling with this a little bit. So I'm just going to go over it a little bit. So we have 1, someone who speaks 13 languages. I think everyone got this. If you speak 13 languages, you probably have a knack for languages. 2 is a poet who wrote about human feelings and experiences. So we can say she has a way with words. 3 was very good at solving complex numerical problems, math problems in his head. We can say he has a head for figures. Number 4, built one of the early gasoline engines and also one of the first cars. So we can say he is mechanically inclined. Then we have 5. A few of you in the chat said, oh, I know him. This is Freud. So he founded psychoanalysis, and he showed that he understood human behavior and human feelings. We can say he had a way with people. 6 was a sculptor. So using wood, metal, and other materials, putting them together to express art. You can say that she was good with her hands. And then finally, someone answered this one in the chat box. 7 was a magician who pretended to read people's minds. So we can say that he had a good intuitive sense or a good intuition. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on. I wanted to make a note about a knack for. So one of our phrases was a knack for languages, but you can say you have a knack for just about anything. Having a knack for something means you do something easily and well. Someone in the chat box as well said a flair for. So this is the same thing. A knack for and a flair for can be used in the same way. So as an example, my family might say, I have a knack for baking. You can also say a flair for baking. If someone has a knack for something, it means that sometimes it means it's a natural talent. So something that you are immediately and naturally good at. Other times, it can take you a while to get a knack for something. So this is also a phrase, to get a knack for something. So I could say, oh, it took me a while to get a knack for writing, right? So I had to practice writing before I became good at it. You can also say that something comes easily or comes easy to you. So I can say something like, speaking Chinese comes easy to me, right? Or playing basketball comes easy to me. Talking to people comes easy to me. So I hope that you guys can come up with some examples in the chat. Can you tell me something that you have a knack for or something that comes easy to you? Very good. Someone has a knack for drawing, a knack for speaking. Very good. Yeah, this is pretty straightforward, but a very common phrase and good at showing something that you're good at in a bit of a different way. Ooh, someone has a knack for chess. So it's always a knack for. Some people seem to have a knack for making money. Yeah, I wish I had a knack for making money. That's a good skill to have. So it's always a knack for, not a knack of. So a knack for doing something, a knack for playing guitar, a knack for programming, a knack for photography. Yeah. A knack for coding. This is very good. Yeah, and you can also say coding comes easy to me. Public speaking comes easy to me. Solving problems comes easy to me. Very good. We can say a flair as well. So someone says, I have a knack for calligraphy. We can say, I have a flair for calligraphy as well. That works. A knack for martial arts. Very good. All right. I think we're going to go ahead and move on for this. I think everyone has gotten this very quickly and very well. Okay, you guys have a knack for this. So I want us to talk about explaining your talents a little bit. So you might want to let someone know why you're good at something or how your talents might relate to your job or maybe your hobbies. So if we just use some simple connectives like because, since, now that, And so we can explain why we have the talents we do or how we use our talents. So I can say, since I started working at this school, I've gotten a knack for teaching. I work as a carpenter, so I'm good with my hands. Because I have a head for figures, I became a physicist. Now that I play the piano, I've gotten an ear for music. And since I have an eye for detail, working in an antique shop suits me well. So there's a difference here. So when I say now that I play the piano, I've gotten an ear for music, I'm explaining why I'm good at something. So it was only when I started playing the piano that I got or developed an ear for music. But the previous example, because I have a head for figures, I became a physicist. So I became a physicist because I have a head for figures. So can anyone make a connection between a talent that they have and maybe their job or a hobby? So I might say, since I like to eat sweets, I've become good at baking. Okay. I have a knack for sewing. I can sew what I like. It's amazing. Yeah, so that explains a good point for sewing. So since you have a knack for sewing, you can sew what you like. So we have a good connection there. Now that I'm good at computers, I consider myself mechanically inclined. Yeah, very good. Because I have a head for figures, I became a data scientist. Excellent. Since I have a way with words, I'm good at writing stories. Since I am an engineering student, I've gotten a knack for software programming. Since I have an eye for detail, I'm good at drawing. Very good. Okay, yeah, these are all excellent. Okay, since I studied physics, I have a head for figures. Very good. All right. So you might also use the same kind of constructions to say what you aren't good at as well. You might want to give a reason why. Since we're talking about having a knack for something and things coming easy to you, you can say something doesn't come easy to you as well. And we can use some different connectives like because, since, now that, so, even though, and although. So I'm not good at basketball because I'm short. So what I am not good at and why I am not good at it. So some things that you are not good at might be surprising, and you might want to use particular connectives like even though or although. So even though I'm good at baking, I'm not a good cook. People might think if you can bake, you can also cook. But even though I am good at baking, I am not a good cook. Although I studied French for 5 years, I can't speak it. So again, you would think if you study French or you study a language for 5 years, you would be able to speak it. But although I studied French for 5 years, I can't speak it. So you can use this construction to say something that maybe is a little bit surprising. I'm going to keep taking a look at the chat to see if anybody wants to practice any of these constructions. So I also wanted to point out a few idioms that we might use when explaining things that we aren't good at. So in particular, I could say, even though I like singing, I can't carry a tune. So if you can't carry a tune, you are not good at singing. So your singing might not sound very good. It could be your voice. It could be the key that you're singing in is off. It could be that you have no rhythm and you can't stay in pace at the song. It means you're bad at singing. If you can't carry a tune, you're bad at singing. I could also say, I'm not good at dancing because I have 2 left feet. So, if you have ever taken a dance class, they might say you step with your right foot and then with your left foot. If you have 2 left feet, you cannot do this. So you are bad at dancing. If you're bad at dancing, you can say, I have 2 left feet. Okay. So although I have a driving license, I am not good at driving a car. Very good. I'm not good at communicating, so I always argue with everyone. Very good. Very good. Even though I like playing the piano, I can't carry a tune. Okay. Yeah, so carry a tune is usually particular to singing, just as a note. But very good. Although I am not good at swimming, I really like learning how to swim. So that's very good as well. Or despite studying English for a year, I'm bad at speaking. Very good. Even though I'm majoring in engineering, I'm not mechanically inclined. You guys are doing a really excellent job. This is wonderful. Okay. So, although I have been studying English, I haven't become an English teacher yet. Yeah, very good. Okay, so one last thing that I just want to talk about is just asking about others' talents. So if we wanted to have a conversation about our talents with someone else, we could say something like, are you good at blank? Would you say you're good at blank? Or how are you at blank? So maybe this is something we can try putting into the chat box. You can ask, maybe I'll give you a few responses as well if you want to ask, or I can ask all of you a question. This is a bit difficult, but for example, I could say, are you good at cooking? Maybe Mohammed, you can have a quick conversation with me about talents, if that's okay, just to finish up the class. How am I at driving? Okay. So although I'm good at driving, I cannot drive in England because I do not know how to drive a manual car. I only know how to drive an automatic car.
Sorry, Sam. I was watching this on YouTube, so
I figured that's what was happening when you did it.
so sorry about the delay.
No, don't worry about that. Yeah, we have some.
So now I'm catching up. What was the question again?
The question was, I was just going to say, maybe we can have a quick little conversation about talents with each other.
Okay.
Just to kind of demonstrate what we've gone over.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll ask you, are you good at cooking?
Well, I'm not good at cooking, to be honest. That's one of the things that I'm not good at all. No. No. I do my best to cook when I have time. Well, of course I use lack of time as an excuse to not do any sort of cooking, but yeah, that's not one of my talents.
Very good. So you can say, because you don't have time, you're not a good cook. Yeah,
that's a good excuse.
It's a very good excuse, really. I don't think I have I don't think I have such an excuse. I think I'm naturally bad at cooking. Well, then how about what's something that you are good at? I think you have a knack for languages.
Well, yes, I have a flair for languages. Well, I'm good at video editing stuff because I love that. So I have a knack for, well, I have a knack for learning music, but yeah, but
You have an ear for music.
I have never been that committed to actually learning to play a musical instrument. Yeah, but I feel I've taken a couple of lessons, and I felt that, yeah, I thought I had a flair for it. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. All right. Maybe you can ask me one or two questions, and then we can.
Okay. So what are you good at, Sam?
Ooh, I would say that I'm good at baking. Yeah, because I like to eat sweet things, because I like chocolate. I've become good at baking. Yeah.
But you're also a very good language teacher.
Thank you. Yeah. So even though I'm not good at learning languages myself, I do think that I am a good teacher because I'm patient.
Okay, that's great. So what other question I can ask? Just trying to remind myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, someone said, am I good at sticking to my promises? I think that's a good question as well. I would say, yes, I'm good at sticking to my promises, because I try to make sure I do not keep promises. I do not make promises that I cannot keep. Would I say I'm good at finding friends? How are you at making friends? That's a good one. So I don't know about you, but for me, I think I'm okay at making friends. So even though I would like to make more friends, because I'm not from Leeds, I've moved here, I think sometimes it is hard to find people to talk to in a day-to-day setting. So maybe joining classes, I can make friends. What about you, Mohammed? Are you good at making friends?
Well, yeah, I think I wouldn't mention that as one of my strengths, but but yeah, I do my best to make friends and get along with if there are difficult people around me, I try to get along with them. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think the same. I think I'm good with people. So I'm good with speaking to others and making conversations, but I do think that is different from making friends. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think someone is saying if we can have
a PDF, was that it? Or a copy of the slides?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I can send that. Well, yeah, maybe it's best to send it to you. I think you might have a copy, so you can upload it.
Yeah, thank you.
To your channel. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll put a link to the PDF version of these slides, and you can download them. I'll just put the link in the description just below the video, and also in the first comment that will be pinned, because it's sometimes difficult for people to just find the links in the description.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've never made a YouTube video before, so I don't know how these things work.
Yeah, I think some people are asking if both of us could appear on the screen So I think if you stop sharing your
Oh, yeah.
slides, Sam, then then our viewers can see both of us on the screen. Let's see what happens now.
Yeah, that should be fine. I think it's only while you are sharing your screen.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. There's probably something you can do when sharing a screen so that you can see both of us.
Okay, now I think both of us are on the screen. So,
yeah, I can
all
see
right,
that.
guys. So this is us. So thank you very much, everyone, for attending this first lesson with Sam. I tried to keep silent, mainly because I wanted you to be exposed to natural English. And I didn't want to interrupt Sam, okay? But yeah, thank you very much, Sam. And it's really a great pleasure to have you on this channel, and a great honor for me to have such a wonderful colleague here. So
I'm so happy you invited me. So thank you.